Yo, yo, what is the business Division 2 agents? This your boy Trade 8381 coming at you with another Division video. Yeah, I know it's been a while. It's been about a month. I've been a little bit busy, life and all this good stuff. Just to give you a recap, over the past month, I've been actually, you know, I'm consistent in the PvP. I do a lot of conflict. Ran across a lot of players. It's all on PlayStation, by the way. And the gameplay. Now, I don't really care when it comes down to gear sets. Like, it's a part of the game. It does get frustrating at times when you run across like a bunch of mortar turrets and, iron long bills and the bighorn bills. And, uh, you kind of compensate for, run hazard protection or explosive resistance or whatever it is. But when it comes down to a lot of it's been more and more frequently, you start seeing a lot of lag switching. And I'm not gonna call it lag switching, say just suspect gameplay. And it got to the point to where it became just about every other match was some suspect gameplay. So I kind of just jumped out of the PvP aspect for a little bit until you know the devs decided to do something about that. And more than likely they won't, just because the game is 7 years old and they honestly don't care anymore. Uh, this second hand squad, they'll do whatever they want to do. But at the same time, like I said, I've been working on my pseudo man cave, which having 3 kids, I doubt that it's gonna be my man cave for too long. But at the same time, got a little bit of news from the wife. We are expecting our fourth child, and that comes with its own cautionary tale because we are up in our age. We're in our 40s, so there are some dangers to being what they call of advanced maternal age. So kind of just keeping an eye out for that. Uh, but at the same time, I'm gonna try to make this video as short as I can. So as you know, Devs came out with a patch note saying that they're going to nerf the Mule characters, right? So with that being said, if they're gonna nerf the Mule characters, I know I'm a little bit late on this because it goes in hand with what I'm gonna talk about next. So, if they're gonna nerf the Mule characters, people are running through right now and doing their best to take advantage of it. So they're getting their Mule characters and getting what they can right now. And I am one of those. I'm one of my comments pointed out to me that I'm almost 25K on the Shade Watch. So getting them, creating, destroying one of my characters and creating a new one is more beneficial because I'll get the resources out of it. Hit the overcap and then, optimize or expertise out a bunch of my weapons and stuff. Uh, but then came this new season where they added these caches that you can get uh, above the 100 mark on the the season level. Now, with that being said, I broke down my character, you know, capped out my resources, uh, and inadvertently, somehow or another, I ended up with 999 exotic caches just off of doing that. And so I thought it was something weird. So I, hit up one of my clan mates, and he said, "Yeah, so it's a bug right now with this thing called a. Let's see if we can pull it up. This shade calibration cache, where if you cap out your stuff, and then you get that cache, it compensates by giving you some exotic caches." And I looked into it and saw Patrick Wolf came out with a video, and he confirmed it. Now, here's the biggest question: is that when I found that out, I stopped breaking down my character because with that being a bug that can happen, right? Is it an exploit? And I inadvertently did it. Didn't even realize it was going on, but I inadvertently did it, researched, and found out it's an actual thing. And YouTubers are now jumping on top of it. Now, in my personal opinion, it's not an exploit because I did it without even knowing I did it. Back when they banned everybody for the turret, people knowing they got on that turret to get an unfair advantage in the raids and PvP content and PvE content. And from what I hear, also in PvP. Now I got banned because I did it once to you know get some people the eagle bearer. Uh, this was years ago. It was like 6 years ago when I did it. Five years ago when I did it. And yeah, I got banned for a week. I took my consequences, but it was still fun doing it. But in this one, in this aspect, this was something that I never intended on doing. I went to, you know, take advantage of the mule character while it's still there. Go ahead and get a lot of my stuff up to at least expertise 12. Because that's the cap before you start burning, exotic components. But also getting that little shade that shade calibration cache at the same time caused me to get 999 exotic components. Uh, and like I said, when I got my mule character and started upgrading my stuff to expertise 12, once you hit 12, it goes, do you want to upgrade to 13? And I saw it because I know I had like 89 exotic caches, exotic components. And I looked and I was like, wait a minute, I don't have 999, I have 89. And I was like, whoa, 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 back it up. So, you know, message my clan mentioned like, yo, there's a bug right now going on. You got to break down your character and, and do this. And they confirmed it. They were like, yeah, it's definitely a thing. So if you can inadvertently do it, is that a bannable offense? Absolutely not. I did it once, and I'm not doing it again because I don't know if that's going to cause me to get banned. Now, at the same time, this is not me promoting it by no means. This is me actually letting y'all know that it is out there, and I don't know if you can get banned from inadvertently doing something. You shouldn't. And if the devs do ban people for doing something by accident, that's on them, man. That's a suable offense right there. They because they screwed up, they're telling you that you are punished for their screw up, even though you never even intended on doing it. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to get sued. I'm saying that you can turn around and say, well, if you're going to ban me from a game that I'm enjoying as much as I am, I'm going to sue you for taking away my pastime, my free time for something I didn't even intend to do. You're calling me a cheater or an exploiter, and that was never my intention. That was your uh, underdevelopment, your screw up. So, this video is now turned into 8 minutes, almost nine. Y'all give me your thoughts in the comment section. Did you accidentally stumble upon this, or did you intentionally do it? I mean, I'm not gonna call you out, but I'm just saying, like, is it something that, like, you see all my stuff is like level 12? That's when I figured it out. I was like, whoa, I got like additional exotic components. So you let me know what you think.
An agent needs assistance.
Friendly KIA.
Serious trauma detected.
Of course, let me run into 1,000 drones.
Shit, fuckers got a drone.
But it's your boy Trade 8381. You know what I'm saying? Y'all take it easy. And again, like if the devs ban you on this, remember I didn't promote you to do this. I'm just bringing a little clarity into the whole intentional versus unintentional. Like I intentionally destroyed my character to take advantage of the exotic components, but I unintentionally ran across a bug in the game, which is actually stacked upon the developer's original bug of the overcap. Is that my fault? They've known about it, they knew it, and they said that you can't get banned for doing it, but take advantage of it right now while it still exists because it won't exist for too long. That was their thing in the Trello board. So if you unintentionally did it, or if you do it 2 or 3 times, remember they knew about this issue, and there's another bug stacked upon it. So it's not really a bannable offense. But if you feel like it is, that's your opinion. If you say you're not gonna do it, don't do it. But if you accidentally did it, don't feel bad about it. It's your boy Trade 8381. Y'all take it easy.